Hi everyone and welcome to my place. One of my most favourite designs at this time of the year when the king white proteas come out is that the Cymbidium orchids are still around at the same time. And you're probably looking and thinking, honestly, Astar, you are not going to put that big thing with that beautiful orchid. Well, I am, because I love this design. I love it because the Cymbidium orchids just keep on keeping on. They flower and stay in bloom for weeks if they're in the right environment and right conditions. As for these beautiful king proteas, they also just keep on keeping on, and they are beautiful statement flowers. And with just a few leaves, a couple of king proteas and a couple of stems of Cymbidium orchid, you have got an arrangement that has got an air of elegance and sophistication, and it's big and it's bold and it just holds its weight visually in any environment. That's very clever that the botanical world provides us with such unique, beautiful blooms. Because a lot of the spring flowers, like they're here, and a lot of them actually don't like to be picked. A lot of the flowers that I grow in my garden, I just go to the garden to visit them and let them be, because often if I pick them and bring them inside, well, it's a disaster. So, you know, let them grow in their environment, and they usually, a lot of them do stay longer in their environment. Now, this design is a classic that has been in my repertoire, like the caged orchids, forever and ever, and I love it. So just a classic urn shape. I've filled it with a little bit of chicken mesh, and I've got a couple of boofs on either side of fern. You could use fresh fern, you could use artificial fern, you just use whatever you've got. What I've done here is I've used the artificial, and then I've added just a few tendrils from what was growing in my garden. You know what, I've really enjoyed bringing the first two series of the Great Botanical Adventure journey to you. I think it's really lovely that we can go behind the scenes and actually discover who grows our flowers, how our flowers are grown, and what work is involved. It just gives me a greater value, appreciation of what's behind the flowers that we so often reach for and never think about where they came from. But anyway, let's just get on with this design. Okay, so I've got the fern on the outsides, and where are my scissors? Where did my scissors go? I don't know, they've got lost, but I've got secateurs, so they'll do. So we'll just cut those off there. And all I really want to do is to just provide eye coming up, seeing the side of the container, and then the rim of the container is just softened with just a few little leaves. And here's a secret I wanted to tell you. Now, if you pick these several days in advance, what will happen is they actually will start to bend down the side of the container, which means it's easier for you to be inserting them. Because when these grow up, what they do is they grow up and out, up and out, up and out, up and out. And they don't often go the way that you want to. But if you pick them a few days in advance, you're right. Now, the other thing I want to share about these is, once picked, these last for equally as long as your flowers. I love that. But see how we just filled in the picture? Now we've just got this lovely little collar around the outside, and I've got one little one here, and I just feel like I might just put that down into there, and just like I'm doing a little bit of stepping up there, just a little bit more visual interest. Now, the next to go in are going to be these orchids. Now, I got these from Ruby Orchids weeks ago, and they are still doing very well, but as they go off, this is what happens. Just get in there and just cut those or snip those off. See, they're starting to go down. From when you see this bright lime crispiness at the top, it's just starting to get a little bit soft. So we'll just cut those bits off, and I'm just going to recut that. And if you change when you've got these, and you've got them in a vase of water, all I suggest you do is just snip the ends every few days, change the water, put a little bit of genola or bleach into there, and they will last for ages. Okay, this is looking quite good, so I don't think I need to worry about that. I'm also taking these quite far down into into the container, because I want them to appear as if they're just growing. Oh, I love that. Now, these that we got at Mangrove Creek Farm are gorgeous. Now, I did hear from the grower that if they don't open up, what you can do is you can hit them with fly spray. Oh, I don't know that I like that for an idea, but if you're stuck and you need them open, then it wouldn't hurt. Now, slant cut these. You'll need secateurs. And then what I want to do with this is to just bring that, I have to turn it around because I can't see where I'm going. Push that down in. Oh, it's like a workout. Take that right down and into there. Hold on, I'm just going to, I want that to sit on the base like that. And then with this one, slant cut that as well. And then remove any of the leaves that might be down there. And if this is still a little bit too thick, what you can do is you can get a Stanley knife and just cut some of that down. But with that slant cut there, that is so good for the flower. To just cut so that it's easy for the flower to... Now I'm happy. That is exactly where I want it. Now, there is no front and back to this design, but actually now there is, because from there, when you see that, I'll turn that around for you to have a look at it. See, from there, that just, your eye just comes across there, and there's all this, the crown, the little crown of the King Protea, you can see in the background or from the other side. And then just to add a little bit more visual interest, I'm just going to bring in just a few of these moss balls to just give the impression that it's just sort of, the flowers have just landed there. I'm going to do the same around the back here, and this really is a beautiful alternative way of designing with just a few proteas and a few stems of Cymbidium orchid. If you wanted to, you could bring some of this into here, but what I love is that you've got this clean white around here, and the eye drifts up and it lands on those proteas, and then it just drifts off into the beautiful lime green. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed sharing it with you, and I did enjoy going behind the scenes at Ruby Orchids here in Auckland, New Zealand, and down to Mangrove Creek Farm to see these growing. And also I need to say thank you to New Zealand Blooms, because they get these to a market near you. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you again another day.